So I played Dungeons and Dragons recently with a couple friends, and I want to tell you the story. If I would give this story a name, I'd probably call it Dominus the Impulsive. So, let me get to the party members. There's Dominus. He's a paladin, he's a human, he's a holy knight. Then there's Bergamot. He's an elf, a ranger, and he has a wolf companion named Richard. And then there's me, Shafis. I'm a dwarf, I'm fat, and I'm greedy. Alright, so the setting of the story is, it's called Blackwood City. And basically, if you think of a gigantic tree stump that is large enough to have a city on top of it, that is Blackwood City. We begin the story in the prison, like in the castle of the city. And the reason the story, I think, should be called Dominus the Impulsive is because almost the entire story progresses only because of how impulsive Dominus is. So, the first part of the story is Dominus is in jail. He's in jail because he called the king a heretic, and he threatened to kill him. So Dominus has a very strong belief system, like he is very religious. Anyone that doesn't agree with him or doesn't believe in his god is a heretic. So, the king didn't agree with him, and Dominus called him a heretic, wanted to kill him. So, the king, pretty reasonably, threw him in jail. Then, we had to go there, Shafis, myself, and Bergamot, the elf. We had to go there and we had to bail him out. While we were conversing with the king, trying to bail him out, he was doing some stuff in the jail as well. When he was in the jail, he met a bandit. And unfortunately for the bandit was a Satanist. The Satanist bandit told him about his religion, and Dominus did not hesitate, and he killed the bandit. Another reason why Dominus is so impulsive. The bandit, as he is dying, tells Dominus, "You are now cursed with my curse. If you do not go to the forest and fulfill your fate, you will die." And, then the bandit dies, and Dominus doesn't really care. Then, we bail him out of the jail, and we don't want Dominus to cause any more trouble, so we leave the castle. We have just left the castle, and we meet a lady named Liza. She tells us there's a beast that terrorizes the city of Blackwood at night. It steals children, and it is told that the beast has a lair with lots and lots of gold. It's also said that the beast has its lair underneath somewhere in the roots of Blackwood City. And we're like, that sounds pretty good. We can probably get a lot of money. And then Dominus, out of nowhere, he says, "What do you follow? What is your religion? Who do you pray to?" All these ridiculous questions that we didn't need. And she whispers in his ear some satanic language. And without any hesitation again, he kills Liza. And every single guard in the area sees this, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's a murder!" And all of the guards start surrounding us, and I don't know what to do because it's not my problem. So, I kind of just run away. Bergamot, the elf, he does not run away with me. I don't know why. He stays with Dominus. They're told to stand down. They say, "No, we will fight for what we believe in." And I didn't know Bergamot followed that religion too, but apparently he does. And they start fighting the guards. Some guards die. Dominus takes some damage, and so does Bergamot. And I'm like, well, I just can't keep running away. So I went to the nearest pub and I grabbed a keg. I run back and I say, "Hey guys, let's just chill out." I put the keg in the middle of everybody and I said, "Alright, can't we settle this like men?" And they're like, "No, they've killed some of our men already. We can't settle this over just some beer. We need money." Well, to them, their friends are just worth a bit of cash. And I didn't have much cash left because I spent it all bailing out Dominus. So, No one knew that the keg was empty. I knew that it was empty because I just grabbed the empty keg. And since I didn't want any more problems and I just kind of wanted to leave Dominus alone and see how he figures out the problem, I, being rather strong and the elf Bergamot being rather weak, I grabbed him, I put him in the barrel, and I ran. And unfortunately for me, all the guards chased me and completely left Dominus alone. They ran right past him. So now, I'm just running. I'm running down to the city. And because we were in front of the castle, now we're running down to the city. Everybody is chasing me. I'm running through crowds. I got quite a bit of a head start because they were all kind of confused right after I ran away. So Bergamot is in the barrel. Dominus, he's been kind of left alone, so he starts following the pack of guards that are chasing us, and I'm down in the city. Then I run down an alley, and as I run down an alley, not looking where I'm going, there's this giant cart of manure. So I throw the barrel over the manure cart, and I slide under the manure cart. Unfortunately, there's a child right behind the manure cart, and I smash right into the child. And the barrel that I threw over, I guess I didn't throw it far enough or high enough, and it hits the manure on the top of the cart, and the manure spills everywhere. So basically, now I'm in a pile of crap with a child that I've just like rammed into, and there's a barrel with an elf inside. And there's this whole crowd of guards chasing us. So what do? I look for a manhole, as like a drainage pipe, a sewer pipe, and I throw Bergamot the elf down the pipe. I jump down the pipe, and then the guards turn down the alley, and they're looking around. They ask the kid, like, what happened? Where'd they go? And he's kind of in a state of shock. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just like, and I'm down there in the sewers. Close the manhole lid, and the guards are just kind of looking for us. Some of them ran past the alley, some ran into the alley looking for us. So, right away, the elf, he dunks his head down into the water of the sewer. That's disgusting. But the manhole is opened because they're looking for us, so I'm forced to do the same thing. I'm down in the sewer water, which is disgusting. And nothing happens, they don't see us, and they move along. Then we kind of need to get Dominus's attention because we want to stay together as a group. So, Bergamot's wolf howls out of the manhole. And thank God Dominus hears us. He comes back to the manhole, he gets down. Now we're all in the sewer together. Since I kind of got us out of the debacle, I decide that we're going to go to a tavern that I know of. And I pull out a handkerchief, and I'm going to go and try and find this tavern from the sewers. So we go through the sewers. We're all kind of dirty, we're smelly, but we can't find the damn tavern because we're underground. So we starting hard, kind of getting hard for us to breathe because we're in the sewer. So we come out of the sewer. Now we're in a more poorer part of town, but at least we're out of the sewer. The air is not that great, and but at least we can breathe now. So we still kind of want to find the tavern, and I have this handkerchief that I had acquired from the tavern previously, at some time, I don't know. And we make Richard the wolf smell the handkerchief so that he can find the tavern. He smells it and he runs off. We follow. As we're following it, we make it back to a more suitable, richer part of town, like a middle-class kind of town area. And then there's lots of stalls there, there's lots of little shops. And we're following Richard, and he leads us to, guess what? A handkerchief stall. So he didn't lead us to the tavern at all. It's starting to get late. We need to get food. We need to get cleaned up. So, I start looking around to try and get this tavern. I kind of leave the other two party members alone because they're not helpful at all. But then, as I'm looking for the tavern, I spot a person that is stealing from the crowd, just like a pickpocket. And I stop him and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? That's illegal. First he turns at me in disgust because I'm covered in sewage water, but I look into his eyes and they're like bright green. And I kind of like pull back. I'm like, wow, what's that? That's weird. I'm like, not my problem. So I leave him alone and he runs away. I'm like, that's not my problem. I'm not dealing with that. So I return to the party members and I tell them about what I saw. And Dominus, who is now starting to believe that he is cursed because of the bandit that he killed in the prison, he's like, that could have been a bandit. I mean, he's stealing stuff. We should probably go after him. So I tell him, no, I'm not going. That's not my problem. But regardless of that, Dominus starts racing for the edge of the city because he needs to get down to the forest. So he starts running to the gates, and I don't really want to split up the party, so I chase after him. And same with our elf, who doesn't really want to make decisions for himself, chases right after us as well. As we're running towards the gate, there's a bunch of guards there, and they recognize us. I guess they run past us so far they made it all the way to the gate. But now they see us and they're like, what are you doing? We need to... Like, you're bad. You murdered people, and you're causing commotion in the town. We need to arrest you. And Dominus is like, nope, screw it. I need to get to the forest. He tries his best to run through them. He injures a few of them. He gets injured himself a little bit. And he's basically now at the very edge of the gates, and he's still running. So then there's Bergamot. He's a ranged character, so he starts like shooting arrows at all the guards. They're all deflecting it. Some of them are getting hit. And I'm chasing after Dominus because I don't exactly want him to die, but because of his impulsiveness, he probably will kill himself. I'm chasing after him. I take damage because there's tons of guards, and I keep getting into predicaments where I'm having to pay price for all of the wrongdoings the Dominus does. So now, we've run through the gate, Dominus and I, and we're kind of at a cliff because the city is on top of a giant tree stump. And we're kind of at the edge, and then there's a guard there that chased right after us, and he's like, you're not leaving. And Dominus is like, yes, I am. I need to go. I'm cursed. And the guard doesn't believe us, of course, but Dominus, he grabs him. He's like, you're in my way. He grabs him and he throws him off the cliff. But as he throws him off the cliff, the guard grabs Dominus's ankle, and pulls him down. Now Dominus, he gets dragged down and he's hanging on with one hand at the edge of the cliff.